Jesus is God. Find out how John bookends his gospel, beginning and ending, with the affirmation that Jesus is God in this episode of 5 Minutes Closer. I'm Vaughn Weatherford, and this is 5 Minutes Closer. For the next 5 minutes, let's explore some biblical truths and apply them to your life. No podcast, including this one, can transform your life or give you what you really need. Only Jesus can do that. You can find out why in what I've called the first five episodes of 5 Minutes Closer. Each following episode explores scriptural truths that, if you follow them, will bring you 5 minutes closer to the person God created you to be. Let's see if we can get you 5 minutes closer. I used to have a set of bookends that looked like giant clipper ships sailing the seven seas. I'm not sure why I had bookends that looked like giant clipper ships. I've never had a big interest in clipper ships, although I did try to build one in a bottle one time. That didn't go very well, so I'm pretty sure the bookends didn't have anything to do with my interests or hobbies. I think that my mom probably picked them up at a garage sale because I needed some cheap bookends. Clipper ships are what they had, so clipper ships are what I got. All of my books were held up on my shelf by two giant porcelain boats. They worked really well because they each weighed about 5 pounds. Those books weren't going anywhere. John adds matching bookends to his gospel, beginning and ending with the same affirmation, an affirmation that holds together our faith. Jesus Christ is the Son of God. John 20:28 describes the second of these bookends. Without this affirmation, our faith means nothing. With it, we can change the world. We sometimes make the mistake of thinking the disciples had an easier time believing in Jesus. After all, they saw all the miracles, they heard Jesus' teachings, they saw him face to face. That didn't make it any easier. The most obvious example is Thomas, who refused to believe that Jesus had risen from the dead, according to John chapter 20, beginning in verse 24. Now Thomas, one of the 12, called the twin, was not with them when Jesus came. So the other disciples told him, "We have seen the Lord." But he said to them, "Unless I see in his hands the mark of the nails, and place my finger in the mark of the nails, and place my hand into his side, I will never believe." It's hard to blame Thomas. None of the other disciples believed it either until they saw Jesus. The fact is, most of your unbelieving friends won't believe in Christ until they see it. They can see the miracle of Jesus if you let them. The miracle is you. Let them see what Jesus has done in your life. Let them see the resurrected Lord in the way you live. But don't forget to tell them why. When Thomas came back, Matthew, Peter, John, and the other disciples were bouncing off the ceiling. They couldn't wait to tell Thomas what had happened. Before he could get in the door, they were all shouting, "We have seen the Lord." When was the last time that you were that excited about having Jesus in your life? Let the world see it. Let the world see the resurrected Jesus in you. Many of them won't believe until they do. We call him Doubting Thomas, but that's not really fair. Not after what happens next in verse 26. 8 days later, his disciples were inside, and Thomas was with them. Although the doors were locked, Jesus came and stood among them and said, "Peace be with you." Then he said to Thomas, "Put your finger here and see my hands, and put out your hand and place it in my side. Do not disbelieve, but believe." Thomas answered him, "My Lord and my God." Here's the bookend. Probably one of the reasons this event stuck in John's mind. John begins his gospel with the pronouncement in the very first verse of chapter 1. "In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. And he was in the beginning with God." There's no question what John is saying here in verse 1 of chapter 1 or in chapter 20, verse 28. Jesus is the God of the universe, made flesh to accomplish what only God can do. Who will you tell today that Jesus is God? Because now you're 5 minutes closer. My prayer is that these 5 minutes have challenged you, inspired you, and caused you to consider applying God's message for your life from His Word. To find out more, visit our website at 5minutescloser.com. Join me next time to see if we can get you 5 minutes closer.